Kage is an airline captain whose wife is a devout believer. She worries every day, saying that a disaster is about to befall the world. Because of this, Kage and his wife have a cold relationship, and their daughter also hates being at home. Most of the time, Kage leaves the house in the morning due to his job and doesn't return until late at night. He claims it's to give his wife personal space, but every time he goes out, he quietly takes off his wedding ring. Today, Kage took off as usual with a flight attendant he has a close relationship with. Once the flight was steady, he handed over the flying duties to the co-pilot and secretly went to have tea with his lover. Meanwhile, Chloe's little brother in her arms suddenly disappeared, leaving her holding only his clothes. On the plane, while Kage was still immersed in the ambiguous atmosphere, the aircraft began to shake violently. Some passengers in the cabin also vanished, leaving only their clothes behind. Panic-stricken people started to become chaotic. When Kage heard the commotion and came out to check, he realized that many passengers had suddenly disappeared. All the passengers were anxiously searching for their relatives, making the cramped space even more crowded due to the chaos. Kage entered the cockpit and was surprised to find that the co-pilot had also vanished, with only his uniform left on the seat. Before the plane completely lost control, he immediately sat down and manipulated the joystick to restore the aircraft to a steady flight state. Only one male journalist remained relatively calm, taking out his camera to record the reactions of those around him. As Kage adjusted the plane's attitude, passengers kept pounding on the cockpit door, desperate to know what had just happened. The male reporter and flight attendants tried their best to calm the passengers. Seeing this, Kage deliberately lowered the air pressure in the cabin and lied that oxygen was running low, telling passengers to return to their seats and put on oxygen masks. The passengers temporarily settled down. Kage took the opportunity to quickly send out a distress signal to the ground about the emergency, but even after multiple calls, no one responded. After a long time, the radar system's alarm suddenly sounded. There was a plane at the same altitude flying straight towards them, but surprisingly, there was no one in that cockpit. Kage could only issue warnings while desperately increasing his own plane's altitude. In her search for her missing brother, Chloe accidentally entered the maternity ward and discovered that all the babies in the cribs had disappeared.